Never thirsty. Never thirsty.
Never thirsty. Oh my goodness. That wasn't the right button, but that was
Episode 2.
wow, there
I
you
gotta
go.
fix my hat. This look crazy.
Wow, we got a video introduction now. WireFang was so excited for me to see that, I'm sure.
So we have one of the first.
I'm Stu Stone, aka Jitty Bambino, back in business. With me is the NVRThirsty, the original, the last. There are no others. He is the last B-boy, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes.
Neffy Neff. How are you, Neff?
I'm all right. I'm doing good. I'm chilling. Life is okay. I ain't mad at nothing.
And all the way from his mad laboratory in Dusseldorf, WireFang, a man of few words, but a man of many talents. How are you, Fanger? Give us of course, not an anti-masker, WireFang, always masker.
Mask up.
We mask up in Dusseldorf, fam.
So yeah, this is exciting. We're never thirsty. In case you want to understand what that means, I'm gonna explain it off the top of every episode until you guys figure it out. But like, never be thirsty. We live in a world where you don't have to be. There's opportunities for you to quench your thirst, and I believe in carrying my own beverages wherever I go. Usually a peach Snapple iced tea or a vitamin water, some sort of non-carbonated beverage that I bring with me to dinner parties, to outings, to gatherings. I'm always drink on hand. And of course, in life, we know that being thirsty is an act of desperation. We don't want to be desperate, do we, Neff?
Never in life. Never in life.
Thirsty, my friends. Never be thirsty.
So what's going on with you, Stu?
Oh, man, another day, another grindy day. Faking a Murder, our movies, which people might not even know, but I have a movie out now called Faking a Murderer. And that's WireFang. And you can watch the movie in the United States of America and in Canada right now on demand and streaming on Amazon Prime, Apple TV, etc. But the big news is that it's coming to Australia. So if anybody's listening to us or watching us in Australia in October, Faking a Murder will be in Australia. So that's good news.
Congrats. We need a clapper.
Yeah,
we don't have a clapper.
Well, we have that.
There we go. That's proper.
Yeah, I'll tell you something, and I don't know whether this is just like an age thing or I don't know thing. Last night, the MTV Music Video Awards were last night, right?
I heard.
Did you know that?
I didn't see it, but I saw pictures.
Now, this is really crazy because this will be probably the first time that I can imagine in my entire life, like being aware of the world. Maybe age 6 and up. Mm-hmm. How far back can you remember? 6, 5, maybe a few sprinkles before then. As far back as I can remember, there's never been a time where I was unaware that the MTV Awards were on TV. Like, it was appointment viewing growing up. I watched every single one. I loved it, the performances and whatnot. And I think this year, I didn't even know it was on until after it happened. And I was like, wow, did it just pass me by? Or am I like entering a different, they don't even want me to watch it. I'm not a desirable demographic for them anyway. But
who is though?
I don't know. But my point is, as someone who used to work for MTV was a huge part of my life. And growing up was huge on my influence musically.
Mm-hmm.
And
so were Bieber's, right?
It's so sad to see that. Well, I don't know. Maybe it is. Do kids still watch it? Because I just didn't hear any buzz about it amongst no one said, "Hey, are you watching?" That didn't happen, and it kind of made me sad. I'm gonna go check out highlights and whatnot of the show, but it does make me sad that maybe they didn't do a good enough job letting people know when it was this year.
But who's watching them MTV for videos? You're talking about 20 years ago.
I know,
we watched it for videos.
Showcase, and some artists would debut a new song, and there would be, there was always something.
I can go to YouTube and get all that.
Yeah. So you think the days of must-see TV for award shows are over in general, or just the MTV Awards?
I think the MTV Awards are pretty much not over. Obviously, they had a nice turnout, so over might be a stressful
Definitely
word.
not over. Wait, you direct things. You wouldn't want an MTV award? You wouldn't go and be so proud?
I'll be proud of anybody acknowledges what I'm doing. But I'm just saying MTV is not. I want my MTV is not a thing anymore.
It's crazy because it's such an iconic brand and it means so much to so many of us that like, and someone needs to turn it around or something. Like it's like not over yet. Like there's still a chance. It's such a cool idea, and it's more than just a channel. It's like you know, I don't know.
They gotta YouTube it.
Yeah, I love it.
YouTube it.
So I'm sad about it. What about WireFang? I don't know if they even have MTV in Dusseldorf.
Yeah, of course we have MTV. We love it.
They love it.
MTV is great. We grew up on MTV, but we watch shows.
Okay. Oh, he watches shows. Like, so it was like music videos were already not a part of the thing. Well, I'm telling you, I'm of an age where I literally would miss school and just so I could watch MTV all day. Keep that channel on all day. Watch every video, everything all day. That's what I did. But
we have YouTube.
I understand that. I understand that. So I guess
that's where everyone's going. Everyone's going to YouTube.
Including me. Look, you guys are schlepping me to YouTube.
That's you. You have a YouTube history, my friend.
I do, but it's way in the history. This is about the future and the present.
Yes.
So anything in the news that, obviously the MTV thing is not a big thing for you, but for me, I'm sad about it. I want it to be good again.
I don't know what's going on today.
I just don't even know. I'm in Canada. We don't get the channel, so I don't even know what's on the channel. So, but I hope it's good. I'm rooting for MTV always.
Well, I saw some pictures of Busta performing.
Yeah.
And I didn't get to see it. I didn't get to really dive into it, but it looks like there's some great performances. Shout out to Busta. It just looks like it had a blast. Him and Spliff Star. But I don't know if that's the MTV Awards or is there another award show that happened recently?
That's what it was. So that was last night.
Okay. Yeah. So it just seemed like they were having a blast. So I mean,
I'm sure. Busta Rhymes is the man. When people do their like top 10 lists and their top 20 lists, we really think about somebody that has longevity, that has like a unique style that's theirs, that's unapologetically theirs, and somebody who just bangers and bangers and bangers, just like a good team, or whether it's his good sense, but like bangers, man. I think Busta Rhymes doesn't get that. He deserves to be mentioned in the list of some of the best rappers ever, I think.
No, but he is. I mean, who you going?
He's never going to be given that like Jay-Z, Nas, Biggie, Tupac, Eminem. Like those are like the ones that are in everybody's top 5, right? Busta Rhymes is never going to crack those top 5. But there are guys that could crack those top 5s. Like you make a case for Rakim or other people that could maybe get into a few people's lists. But
KRS-One.
Yeah, sure, but Busta doesn't get that respect, is my point. And I think like if you really look at his body of work, it's crazy. He's still going. He's 50 years old. He's still going, and he's still relevant. And it's
I would say this: he's one of the greatest rappers of all time,
for sure.
One of the greatest, top of the like.
For sure.
If they make a list for that, because top 10, there's no top 10. It's too many rappers that are dope for it to be a top 10 anymore.
But there are. Unfortunately, that's just how it works. So I'm saying like I wouldn't be upset to see Busta Rhymes in somebody's top 10, and I wouldn't be upset if he was in my top 10 or anybody's top 10. I wouldn't argue it. Let's just say that. There are certain people that put rappers in their top 10 that I'm like, maybe he's more like a number 11. But I wouldn't argue if someone's personal taste was like, oh, Busta's in my top 10, I'd be like, oh, okay, that makes sense.
So, Stu, let me ask you a question about the top 10. I feel like there's too many dope rappers for there to be a top 10 anymore. When they made the first top 10 conversations, there wasn't that many rappers. Think about it.
I mean, there's still top 10 in anything. There's a lot of people that played sports. There's still who's the best NBA player.
No, but you see, I don't have a top 10. Do you feel like you have a top 10? Because I don't have one anymore because too many rappers are.
I once sat down with a few friends and made like a top 100 that turned into a top 200. And I would love to find that list. But we actually like were arguing and it got heated. It was like it took us like over 3 days of just hanging out and like we were all into this and fighting for people's spots and slots. And this one's over that one. I'll tell you, one thing that was interesting to me was that maybe it was about 4 or 5 of us. WireFang may have even been a part of it. I don't remember. But I didn't necessarily vote this way, but like at the end of the consensus, because there's like 5 of us, Lauryn Hill ended up in the top 10. And I want to know how you feel about that. They made a very compelling case that got enough votes to get her the votes to get in the top 10. And, you know, what do you think about that choice? Because a lot of people are in their top 10. But maybe people forgot about Lauryn. I don't know. But what do you think?
Lauryn, one of the best. She's one of the greatest rappers to me of all time. She has one of my favorite songs of all time, hip hop wise. Sure. Lost Ones was one of my favorites,
of course,
of all time. So, yeah. Lauryn, but see, it goes to show there's no top 10. It's too many MCs that are equally as good. Like,
but for her to be like in a like the list wasn't. It was a co-ed list. So if it's a boys' game, because there's a lot more male rappers than there are female rappers.
She's better than a lot of male rappers.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So Lauryn Hill, she is now Lauryn Hill and Busta Rhymes. Like, who gets ranked higher there?
Well, Busta got more rap out. He has more albums, so I'm gonna give Busta has way more albums than Lauryn. Lauryn gave us like a short run.
And I'm gonna agree with you on that. Okay, I think Lauryn's impact is huge. Okay, she is massive, and the Fugees is like the greatest. Let's like Lauryn Hill's the best. No one's saying that she is not the best, but maybe she also like Busta Rhymes is just a rapper. You know, she's a singer. She's doing this. She's doing a lot of other things. So if you just get down to like who just like dedicated their entire life to rapping, Busta Rhymes gets it for that, right?
All day. That's easy. Since the leaders of the new school till now.
Yeah,
that's all day. He has a firm foothold in our histories as far as if you're hip hop, if you love hip hop, there's no Busta's in there.
Especially if you're gateway to Busta. Okay, so a lot of people for Busta Rhymes, their introduction with him was either Woo-Ha, I Got Y'all in Check was a big single for him. And I remember that being on MTV and ODB on the remix. And it was like, oh, who is this guy? Oh my God, for people who didn't know him. Then like he really got commercial on Put Your Eyes Where Your Hands Can See. That was like a pop hit, right? He crossed into another universe. But for those of us whose gateway to Busta was through Tribe Called Quest and Leaders of the New School and like knew about him already, we already knew who, like, of course. Like
PTA was the first record I heard him on, just another case of that old PTA.
And it's just like, of course, this guy's gonna be, big. He had such a big personality, and
rap has a top 50 to me. That top 10 is a top 50 for me. I don't have more than 50 equal guys, but I have Slick Rick's, Rakim's, down to Eminem's, and even 50 Cent.
Wait. Okay, slow down on those, and let's just see if any of those few names that you just rattled off would be in my top 10.
Okay, Slick Rick.
Well, he should be.
See, there's no room, right? He has one of the best albums in history.
Of course. But you gave Lauryn Hill slack for having a smaller run. But I'll say Slick Rick's run is still amazing. Like
he was going platinum when they weren't.
Yeah. Slick Rick is the ruler. He's Slick Rick the ruler.
Some of the best records. Oh wait, Rakim.
Rakim would be in my top 10 for sure. And arguably he could be now I say this arguably, he could be the greatest of all time, Rakim, because in my opinion, there are the godfathers of hip hop who were the first rappers that had those types of records, and they were party records, blah blah blah, not blah blah blah. Amazing.
No, that's not what you mean.
But then Rakim comes along and like flips it all. His delivery still holds up. His style ahead of its time. The production still holds up on those records. He's still the coolest in the game. After everybody copied that after him.
Yep, that's
you know
true.
what I mean. It's like his swagger, whatever you want to call it, rubbed off and changed. He's the Nirvana of rap. He came in and changed the game and made it. And then Dr. Dre was able to put out, other people were able to do stuff that went more commercial because of what Rakim did. So he could be the greatest of all time, if you want to put it that way.
Yeah, I wouldn't argue with him with that. He's definitely the biggest influence I've seen. Besides, I mean, Jay-Z was a hard influence on people too.
Of course, but ask Jay-Z if Rakim influenced him.
No, I'm telling you, I'm agreeing with you with Rakim. So you have Rakim, you have Jay. I would say Biggie, even though Biggie passed away,
I don't care. Biggie's the man. Biggie is the man.
Biggie goes right in there.
Biggie might be my number one today. Like it like rotates. It's like depends what mood it is or what day it is. But Biggie could be number one on any day. Like I wake up, a Biggie song is playing, I'm not going to turn the station.
No. I would say Big Daddy Kane.
Yeah, obviously. And he's another one that's like Rakim. That is an influential guy. That Rakim gets a lot more love. But Big Daddy Kane, there's people that literally copied his entire style. Like he was another one of those guys that doesn't get his just due today. But Big Daddy Kane is the man.
Well, I'll throw a name at you that you probably don't have on your list. I would say 50 Cent is not on your list.
You know what? You would be shocked to know that I would consider him. You know what I mean? I would say that
in your top 10?
I would say that. I would actually say that if we found my actual top 10, like he would be in there.
Okay, yeah,
because I want to say that in my real impressionable years as a hip hop consumer, How to Rob, when I first heard it, I was like, who's that? That's, you know what I mean? I immediately knew that this guy was like something
ridiculous,
way different. And I think like How to Rob is still like probably, I love Eminem's first album. I love 50 Cent's first album, but even I love just How to Rob is so good. It's like he has such a confidence. He sounds like he means everything he says.
One of the best I've ever heard to me.
And he name drops everybody, and everybody's sort of in on the joke, and it's great. I mean, 50 Cent's the man.
Sean Price. Sure.
Wow, now there you go. So now Sean P. You know why I love him? I'm obviously a big Helter Skelter. Boot Camp was my favorite, but Sean P. you have to appreciate because he's a late bloomer. Like he's a guy that people were sleeping on for a long time.
Yes, indeed.
His partner was Rock, who has this. Rock was like in his monster mode on those records, and Sean was just by himself on those records. You'd probably be like, holy, but he was on it with Rock, so it was like, okay, this guy's good. But once he sort of went on his own, it changed everything. He became the greatest. Like his everything just changed for him.
Unbelievable.
If he's the guy that like if his career had ended after Helter Skelter, he would be just known as one of the guys from Helter Skelter, which, by the way, that's great too. His legacy continued after Helter Skelter in a way that nobody saw coming unless you knew him personally and were in the studio and were around this guy. If you're just a casual fan, you didn't know that. And now, listen, Sean P. is the man. And I keep saying that about everybody, but like you're naming people.
Yes, we're talking about the top of the tops.
Yeah, I mean, you're naming great rappers.
If I'm naming somebody, you know who I always give an honorable mention to, but you can't put him. I mean, I wouldn't say he was the top, but he gets an honorable mention because of his impact. Cannabis. Yeah. He came out like, I remember everyone feeling like, well, if you're a rapper, this guy was running through you, like on the shows. If he's rapping next to you on Hot 97, this was a phenomenal thing. He was like Eminem before Eminem type of thing. And I feel like Cannabis kind of gets erased from he's the one who, approached the GOAT. You know what I mean? He went to LL. And that was, by the way, that was like the best, like that era of hip hop where people were releasing those types of tracks. And he came on there with Mike Tyson, and like the beat is still fire, and he's still like talking crazy. And LL came back pretty good too. I remember. And then Wyclef got involved and did one, and it was like a whole beef. And but yeah, I mean, listen, Cannabis can obviously rap, but at the end of the day,
You know, there's
He
other.
didn't have the albums.
There's
to
other
back
things
him
that
up.
factor in. You know,
Right,
there's lots
he
of guys
didn't-
that can rap really great, and maybe he burnt bridges with people. I don't know because I don't
But
know
his
him.
impact needs to be noted that there
Oh,
was
of
a
course.
like a
Anybody who's
hurricane
real hip-hop
cannabis.
fan, no one's going to shit on cannabis as a rapper.
No,
And you know, but I think in the last 10 years, the opposite of Sean Price. Sean
Yes.
Price came in quiet guy in the corner and ended up
Yes.
being the loudest guy in the room, and everybody loves him. Now, cannabis started out as the loudest guy in the room, and then the stuff that's happened since then has been not great, not a good look. So a few things I remember seeing stuff online. He showed up to a battle that he shouldn't have even been there, and he was reading off a thing, and like, why would he even put himself in that position? And whatever, you know, I'm not involved in his life and his business decisions, but I am a fan of cannabis. He's not in my top 10, but he's not laughed at either. Like if someone says cannabis, I'm like, yes, he's great.
Well, let's talk about the West Coast. Here's one of the top 10. Here's the West Coast guys that'll be in my top 50 because I don't have a top 10. Snoop Dogg.
Of course. And Snoop Dogg gets a bad rap from, you know, because the East Coast style sort of is a lot more lyrical.
Yes, but he's
so when you look at the West Coast guys, Ice Cube comes to mind as someone who was lyrical, but you know, but you think of Snoop Dogg and he was more of a, I don't know how to describe his style, but it's like he has his own style and he's a Nirvana of his own. He changed the game, still an A-list get. And he's the Undertaker. He's the main eventer for over 25 years. Snoop Dogg is probably not in a lot of people's top 10.
He's in mine.
He should be. He is, you know, listen, Dr. Dre's Chronic album is a masterpiece. Would it be a masterpiece still if Snoop Dogg wasn't on it? Maybe it would, but wow, think of the impact he had on that record.
Come on. Snoop is definitely top 10. Big Pun. Oh, no, that's East Coast. I'm sorry. But I got to throw Big Pun before I forget him. But Snoop, West Coast, Ice Cube, you got to give it to. You got to be in the top.
Talk about Big Pun for a second.
Yeah, Pun is incredible.
Yeah, I mean, Pun, you know, even when, you know, when it was Fat Joe, Joe Crack and Big Punisher on the Funk Master Flex mixtapes, like people back then knew. You know, my boy Young Lord worked with him, and I got a chance to spend some time with Big Pun once.
Oh, really?
It was crazy, man. It was crazy. You want a Big Pun story?
I do, brother. What happened with you and Pun?
WireFang, for some reason, is getting FaceTime from WireFang. Maybe, I'm not sure why.
We have a Minicon waiting.
Okay, let's introduce Minicon. We'll get back to this.
We'll tell our Big Pun story. Stay tuned next time. And if Neff
next
remembers,
episode, I'll remember.
But I like talking about rappers like this. It's fun.
Yes.
And I don't think that I've been like really out of school with any of our sort of analytics there.
No, I think we got 10 people out, but there's more. I'm gonna write down the list next time.
A lot of people that probably wouldn't crack top 10s, but great arguments.
Yes. All right. Where's you gotta bring him in. I don't know how long he's been waiting.
Oh baby.
Hey.
What it do?
Oh baby.
What's up?
Oh baby.
Yeah.
We have a guest. Are you there?
There it goes.
Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you hear me?
I can. Where are you at, man?
I'm in LA.
You're in LA. That's a crazy room you got there.
Oh yeah, I like, you know, fix it up a little bit. But I'm like, I haven't been in LA for a month. I just got here last night.
Oh, really? Where are you coming from?
I have a place in Dallas, and then I went to Atlanta. I was in Atlanta for the last.
Oh, you're just jet setting right now.
Yeah, that's my life.
Not a bad life. This is not a bad life. Let's get to know the backstory here, because for people who don't know, this is a young man that, you know what, I'm a little bit like jaded, and I'm not someone that's still like scrolling all day, and it takes something to sort of like stop the scroll and get me to be like, huh. And I think that this guy right here has like figured out sort of that secret sauce. He has sort of harnessed the stuff that he sees that works, and he's doing beautiful things, and he's become quite an internet sensation. I want to call you a comedian because you're hilarious. Also,
Thank you.
a musician, records hilarious songs, and there's no reason why this guy can't blow the. He's already on his way. So go ahead and tell everybody what your Instagram handle is, because I want people to check it out.
I Minikon, and appreciate the words for the introduction. But I Minikon, it's IMINIKON. I just put an I in front of my last name.
Minikon.
And you can see it scrolling right down there.
On the bottom of the screen. I didn't even see that. Look at that.
Yes,
We're
sir,
so advanced here. So was it like, because you are really funny, naturally funny, you can just tell that you're a funny guy. So at some point, like, how did you, I'm guessing here, without knowing you, without asking you a single question, I'm guessing that you are one of the people that looked at this device that everybody's holding in their hands and using it to text and send pics or whatever they're doing, and you're like, wait a minute, this can be a weapon, and I can actually use this thing to take what I'm doing to the next level. Is that what happened? Was there a moment like that?
Well, kind of. Believe it or not, like I was a behind the scenes guy. I was a videographer. Like I was all these influencers. I was their videographer, and then really it was as simple as I went to my homies. Like I had this big shoot, and it was like all the like biggest influencers, and there was a 17-year-old kid. I remember talking to him, Dope Island, and he was like one of the biggest on Vine back in the day. This is like 2015 or 2016. And he had asked me, he's like, yeah, how much are you making like behind
is back in the day. That's crazy.
It's back in the
Sorry,
day,
go ahead.
Influencer times. It's back in the day in the influencer lifespan. Or he had asked me, he was like, oh yeah, like how much are you making behind the like camera work and stuff like that? Because he's like, that looks interesting. And I told him, and then I was like, how much do you make from being an influencer? And he was like, well, I mean, this month I just cashed out $7,000. And I was like, on Vine? And he said, yeah. And from that day, I was like, yeah, this is what I got to do. I got to step in front of the camera and start doing that.
Like all of a sudden you were like cha-ching, like,
yeah.
But you already knew how to like shoot the videos because you were already doing the videos with other influencers. So you already knew what works, and so you kind of were getting an education on how to do this. That's crazy? How did you get hooked up with influencers to begin with?
My videos were like the videos that I would shoot would go viral, like my music videos that I was shooting and for the artist, and and on top of that I worked with Atlantic Records for 3 years. So just like I did the influencer department for them, like we created the department over there, and just from doing all of that, I got sauced in with everybody, and I was an influencer plug.
Wait, so did you know, like when you first got that job, you were just like, oh, cool, I'm working at Atlantic Records, I'm in the music business. But then like you started seeing everything that was happening, and you were like, you know what? This. I'm going to take it into my own hands.
When I got the job, it was like, it really was on a thing to where like the guy that reached out to me to like hire me basically, because like they found me, and he was just like, you're around all these like big names. Are you utilizing it? And I was just like, I don't know what you mean. It's just these are my friends and I shoot for them. And then he was just like, yeah, but are they like I think that we can do something big with them and the artists and all like the up and coming artists and stuff like that. And that's what we started doing. So yeah, like from being there, like and being around everybody, like I started having an upper hand on people because I saw like the back end from both industries. And I thought to like merge it with what I was doing.
Very smart, brother.
Unbelievable.
Very smart.
Thank you.
So how long have you been doing influencing full time? Go ahead.
Yeah, no, so I wanted to know the same thing.
Yeah, full time 2019. Like I mean I like quit. Well, I mean if you count
back in the day.
Yeah, back in the stone age. But 2019 was when I wasn't working for Atlantic anymore, and I was just like full time. But before Atlantic, I'd quit my 9 to 5, and so I haven't had a 9 to 5 since like I think 2015.
Congratulations, brother.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
So what was your like Joe job? What was your regular job?
I was a valet driver for 4 years, and then right before like I moved to LA, I needed some extra cash, so I started doing pizzas on the side too. I was a delivery boy
All right,
at
let's
a
talk
mom
about
and
both of
pop
those
job.
things for a second. So the valet
Yo,
thing. So
uh-huh.
there's a whole subculture that people don't realize of valet guys, because you guys are just
Yes.
getting the keys to people's cars. Like, what was there ever like a time when you were like, I might take this one around?
Look, I thought that I was gonna like. I knew I was talented. I came from like a football background. I was like the #1 in the state in Texas for track. I was an athlete, right? And I quit sports to start doing videos. And with the valet driver stuff, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just be like a manager here, and I'm gonna make a good living, and I'm gonna do videos on the side. And that's like that was my mindset. And but like with ballet, I swear that there can be a whole movie made on ballet drivers, or a whole documentary. There needs to be if there isn't, because it's
No, I
crazy. 'Cause
agree.
it's like, yeah, you're trusting somebody with your car, and like most of them are dumbasses, and like there was a lot of things that I saw, a lot of things that happened, but it's like it's crazy. Valet driving is crazy. Like people that like, yo, I've raced people's cars. Like we'll pull up side by side in the garage, race these people's cars, do whatever. Like you have their keys, you can do whatever you want.
Horrible. Yo, what's the craziest valet story you can give us without saying names or times and dates?
It's a sad story. Like I know the craziest, the craziest day. Like the first thing that comes to my head is I worked at a hospital. I worked at Baylor Hospital in the women's center. I feel like that's how I got a mouthpiece and talking to girls, because it's just like all I did was deal with girls every day, and like just like 4 years straight, right? So what's it called? I was at work one day, and I was going on my lunch break. I mean, I guess it doesn't really have to do with valeting, but like I don't know. I saw this dude just like jump off the 10-story or like the 10-story building, right? And I ran up to him because I thought like he had just like fallen, like I don't know, because I just saw like the like side view of it, and I just thought like he had like fallen from a tree or something,
Oh
like was
my
trying to
God.
climb the tree. And like I just remember like walking up to him and like seeing like, yeah, no, he was done. And because I was the first one that got to him. But then right after that, my manager was like, get back to work. And I think that was like from that moment when he just wanted me to like get back to work after I like just experienced that, my body went in shock, and I was just like, this ain't for me. Like this is what I'm about to be doing, because like they don't give a fuck about us.
Wow.
Yeah.
I gotta tell you something right now. Yeah. When he asked you for the craziest story, I want to be honest with you. I was expecting you to be like, yeah, smoked a joint and raced a car and went around the corner. Instead, that's gonna like traumatize all of us now. Thank you for that's man.
That day literally
that's
molded
a twist,
me.
man. That's like an M. Night Shyamalan movie.
I swear on anything
that's you saw somebody like splat.
Rest in peace,
like
to the guy or female. I don't know if
it's the dude, big
That's
dude,
terrible, man.
Yeah.
Rest in peace.
It's crazy because like I swear on anything that day like changed my life to where it's like I literally became a different person after that. Yeah. But yeah.
I became a different person after hearing
write
it.
a movie. Yeah. If you're gonna write a movie, you need to have that like the opening scene, like out of nowhere. Like you just start with like cool valet parking, some funny stuff, then you go inside, and all of a sudden you turn around and see the guy fall. You look up, and like and the whole tone of the movie changes.
Yeah, that would be crazy. I literally know it's gonna happen. That's the whole plan of doing everything that I do is like I'm gonna come out with a crazy ass movie to tell the whole story.
Dope.
So delivering pizza in Los Angeles, I have a few friends that are
in Dallas.
Oh, it was in Dallas. I was gonna say. Well, then okay. So because in LA, I was gonna say, I asked my friends like, oh, you deliver pizza. Like, did you ever have any crazy stuff? They're like, yeah, one time I delivered pizza to Macaulay Culkin. Stuff like that. But he's the kid from Home Alone. In Dallas, that's a whole different world out there. So any kind of like you show up and like you see these not that I've watched them, but there are these educational documentaries that you can watch on the internet about pizza guys going to people's houses and, a woman is there in a robe and stuff like that. I don't know if you've ever seen any of these documentaries. Do any of these happen? Does that ever happen to you in real life?
No. I mean, I got to deliver to strip clubs. That's about it. But I just remember the strip clubs would always order from us, and I would remember like going in there and the strippers would just be like, "Don't use the bathroom," because I would be like, "I got to piss," and they're like, "No, you don't want to go in there," and I still never knew why. Like I went to the bathroom, but it's just like it looked like a normal bathroom, and I don't know what the strippers be doing in bathrooms, but they're like, "Don't use the bathroom."
Question of the day.
But yeah,
that's very telling. That's very telling because as a male. As a male who has used men's rooms in like pretty awful places, I'm pretty confident that like men are the worst human beings on the planet, just based on like how they behave in a bathroom and how they leave it for other people. If for a stripper bathroom to be on like a "don't go in there" level, that terrifies me.
Yeah, I don't know what they be on, but to piggyback on your question about like delivery people, though, it's funny because when I was in college, I remember we always used to tip our delivery drivers with like smoking a bowl with us, or like they would always like to come come to our house because like it was just like, yeah, we don't got money for you, but you want to come in and smoke, and boom, we would just always send them back to work high.
That's amazing. That's amazing. That's hilarious. So right now, life is pretty good for you. There's been a lockdown and whatnot, but like that gave you an opportunity to sort of, your audience probably grew even more because more people are not working. They're at home and they're getting distracted by things like your videos. So this must have been a huge growth year for you, despite the fact that it was a pandemic, right?
Yes. The lockdown, honestly, unapologetic, was the best thing that happened to me. It literally like, cause I got ADD and you see I be traveling a lot. So the lockdown forced me to be in one space. I don't think that it was just because of like, oh, the world was shut down to like channel people to me. It was a personal thing to where it forced me to be in one area, lock in and just work. And that's when I discovered TikTok. And I like during like the lockdown, like I think I stayed inside probably for like 2 months, 3 months, and then I was just like and started traveling again. But during those 2-3 months, I gained like 600,000 followers, and it was just like boom, because it was just all I did was woke up, made 5 videos a day, and I was doing that every single day. And yeah,
I have a question for you. What would you tell someone who wants to be an influencer, a new person, a new kid, or somebody? What's the advice you would give them to start?
I would say that being an influencer is all about consistency. I mean, it's the same thing in everything. And that sounds so cliche, but it's like, that's what I was saying. It's like those 5 videos a day, being consistent and posting. Like, yeah, when I first started posting, they weren't getting the numbers, of course, because I started from 0 on TikTok. But it's just the consistency, the algorithm favors you if you like favor the app, and it knows how long you're on the app. It knows how long you're strolling it or yeah.
It's so funny that you say that because literally I was going to comment that exact same thing. Like even just from looking at your Instagram profile, I was going to mention consistency is key. Like everybody, that's number one lesson. But I think you specifically, beyond the algorithms, which is obviously that's the secret sauce beyond the app. These are things that you have to put in the time to really figure out those cheats, right? But as far as consistency on quality, you have this like sort of character when you're doing the interviews. There's a consistency to like your audience knows that they're going to get what they know what they're getting now. It's like you do a couple different characters. You do these really funny sort of group. Your man on the street stuff is really hilarious. I actually had there was one that I watched, the most recent one, where you said, "What if a guy doesn't pay for your date?" Right? And then she answers.
Yeah.
Is that the last one that I just saw?
Yeah.
Okay. I was hoping that you were trying to slip in like, what happens if a man doesn't pay you for the first date? Like, pay you.
I was like, look, that chick was like.
That's what I thought you said. That's what I thought you said.
No. I was trying to be respectful to that chick because actually, like, I was trying to work with her type. So I was trying to be respectful during the interview, but if I don't know you, I don't go saying whatever. Like, it's like, because a lot of people think that the interviews are fake, but every single one of them shit's like, I'm playing anything.
No, I can
like
tell. I can tell that it's real. I can totally tell.
Yeah.
And
the only thing that people would be like, my voice, like, of course, like, I'm not going up to the girl like talking in that voice, but it's just like the girls, like, some of them I don't know them, but it's just like all I say like before the interview, and I'm like, I'm about to change my voice, and then it always catches them off guard once I start. But like, they're all like, I don't know half of those girls, and I just like, it's better if I don't know them because I won't give a say to them.
Yeah, because like, now, what happens if this character? Did you name this character?
The not so gay best friend. So yeah, it came from like my skits that the not.
What did you say it was? I didn't hear it.
The not so gay best friend.
So like, what happens if this character blows up and becomes like the next? There's like a movie with that character. Like, are you prepared to be that character? Like, is that your Borat?
I'm prepared. I mean, it's just like, I don't want to. I feel like I'm gonna be the type of person that's gonna be known in this industry for different things. So it's like, I'm not gonna be that like one staple. That's something that I pride myself on. It's just like, if I get approached in public, there's people that come up to me for different things. They're not gonna just be like, oh, you're that guy that does the gay voice. You're that I'm trying to guy. You're the guy that's with the. Like, so it's like, I just want to be, or like, some people come up to me and it's literally straight off of music. Like, they're like, yeah, you're that rapper, and they don't even know that I do comedy, So I want that to be one of the things. I want like movies to be like, yo, yeah, you got to do this character in the movie, because it came from me doing my skits. Like, my skits was there was a character called Gay Best Friend. And he would
have you ever considered auditioning for a show? Oh, sorry, go ahead. I didn't hear you.
Basically the character was a straight dude that would basically try to get with girls in that gay, or get at gay to get with girls, basically. Yeah.
Would you say that you have when you're interviewing people, it's random, you just run down on them, right?
Yeah.
What state do you say the people are friendliest to you?
Friendliest?
Yeah, that
LA.
LA, okay.
Yeah, because LA, everybody knows the like camera lifestyle. Like, you can literally go out in public and act out here. Like, you can do whatever. You do that in Texas, you're getting shot. It's like, no cap. It's like you start wilding out. Like, if people bring that to like Dallas and like wilding out and trying to prank people and they don't plan their pranks, oh no, it's not gonna be good for them.
So most of your stuff happens in LA.
Yeah, a lot of it. Like, I would say like 75% of my videos are in LA, and then the rest are in just random ass states.
Got a crazy story for us for one of the videos?
So
yeah.
What do you say?
I said a crazy story from one of the videos
from one of the interviews.
The interviews. Nah, just like one of my skits. I remember we were shooting this robbery skit. He's a big influencer, Nick Paddywhack, and then another dude, You Love Richard, and they're both big influencers. We were shooting something in Burbank in the hills, and it was a robbery skit. And basically, I was getting like stuck up at gunpoint. And I remember during the video, like, we look up and we couldn't shoot anymore because there was this helicopter that kept circling, and we didn't know like the helicopter was for us. So like we just go, we flip it off the camera, like we move in the helicopter and all that. So we go, we're like we got to go inside because like we can't shoot until or we can't finish the video until the helicopter leaves. So we go inside, and then we look out the window. Am I still on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We look out the window, and there's cops lying down the street, right? We're just like, who the is like getting busted for drugs? And then we see like our homeboy like get out of the car down there and like with his hand up, and I'm just like, oh, like, damn, that nigga got something on him, like, right? And out of nowhere, we go outside to see like what was up, and they just point all the guns at us, like strap ARs, everything pointed at us. And so they make us come down there, blah, blah. But basically the neighbor had reported like that somebody was getting robbed at the house. And they said that they made every cop in Burbank except for 2 cops come to the scene. And like that video's on YouTube too. It's like literally you see the streets filled with cops, guns on us. And this was during like all like the Black Lives Matter stuff and when it was heightened. So like in my head, I'm just like, bro, I'm about to get shot, bro. Like that's all I could think is like I'm saying everybody, guns, heat on us, helicopters above us, everything.
Holy
man.
You can't in Burbank.
Especially with nosy neighbors.
Yeah, if you're flipping off the cops.
Flipping them off, mooning them, acting gay. Like we were doing a
whole they would do that to the helicopter.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was on some news station somewhere. You just see there's some robbers trolling the cops.
Oh my God. You're lucky. Oh my God. That could have had a really terrible ending. Jeez.
It could have had a horrible ending.
So can I ask you a question career-wise, like career goals? Like as somebody, when I was coming up, if I was with someone who was really funny, who could do characters, their dream might be to be a cast member on Saturday Night Live. Is that something that's like in your wheelhouse? Is that something you'd even consider? Is that a goal? Is that even on your radar?
I would say it's on the radar. Yeah. Like I definitely want to show on like Adult Swim or Comedy Central, something like that. But Saturday Night Live, yeah, 100%. I just really I really want to like make a movie. Like I want to be like I don't take acting classes. I don't want to do any of that. Like I don't want to be labeled as an actor. I just want a movie and a documentary behind my lifestyle because there's a lot of crazy that nobody's seen, nobody's heard about from me.
Right. Wow. Mm-hmm. We'll be looking for that. I think I'm excited for your future, man. I think you've put in the work. Clearly there's more to it than just some random guy picking up a phone. Like there's a real backstory here of somebody that like worked behind the scenes, like really plotted behind the scenes. And like when that like light bulb went off, that cash moment of like, he knew exactly what pieces to put into place to put his life in his own hands and his career in his own path. And we love that. And here, our little motto here, we're never thirsty. And, being thirsty is just not a good thing. You have to stay hydrated, and being thirsty is like very desperate, So what is your favorite beverage?
My favorite beverage?
Did we lose him on that?
Water.
Yeah, what's your favorite beverage?
No,
like you're really
water and Casamigos.
Water.
No, water and Casamigos.
So the cheapest thing you can drink and the most expensive thing you can drink.
Exactly. I like drinking alcohol straight. Like I don't mix the drinks. I don't really drink soda like that.
Oh yeah.
So so I
don't
just
like that.
Fuck no. If you can go out drinking with me, it's just anything on the rocks. That's me.
Just straight up.
Oh yeah, 100%. It gets the job done. I don't drink for the taste of the alcohol. I drink to get drunk and have fun. So it's like if I'm gonna drink, I never drink by myself. So it's like if we're going out, we're getting straight to the point as quick as possible. Let's go.
I have a question.
That sounds. Go ahead.
Yo, listen. Let me ask you a question. Are you primarily TikTok, or you're all over all the platforms doing this thing?
All the platforms, but TikTok's my biggest platform. Yeah.
You like the ecosystem on TikTok better than, let's say, Instagram and YouTube? And if so, why?
I hate TikTok, bro. TikTok's trash, yo. Like TikTok sucks because
why is it trash?
It's a good place to get out there, and it's the platform right now that you can grow the fastest on. No cap. You go on TikTok, and you really put in the work, and the algorithm, you can grow, right? But it's really an app that since I've been in this for like a little amount of time, I know like what these apps are doing, and it's an app to where it's like it's not favoring the bigger creator. It's trying to get as many people popping as possible to keep using the app, to give them like all it's doing is like literally it dangles some in front of you to be like, oh hey, yeah, you can get this is the first thing you can get numbers on.
I understand.
And then it tries to take it away, but it's just like me, I'm always good on the app because like I guess I do have a loyal base on there. But the reason I hate the app so much is because it deletes, like it like bullies people. So it's like anytime I post, like all those interviews I do, like now I bleep out words, like I don't say certain things, and I still get all my deleted for sexual activity and nudity, and I've never had a naked chick on my you know what I mean? So it always like I don't like the app because it deletes a whole bunch of people's content and it deletes their profiles. People will work and they'll dedicate their lives to this, and then like it deletes their and it just like robs a lot of people like from I don't know. It takes the food off their table because some people get popping on TikTok and they quit their job. They've never been an influencer, so they don't
Can you
really
make
know
money
anybody.
from? Can you make money from TikTok? Like TikTok sends you a check?
Yeah, directly to your bank account. Straight to your
Really?
bank account. Yeah, they're not the
I
best,
did not
but they
know that.
definitely do it. Yeah,
And how do you have to get to that level? Like what level do you have to be at to start getting that kind of action?
I think the requirements are over 100K, and I think it's just over 100K. You can apply for the creator program or the creator fund. I think it's 100K or something like that. But then like you just apply,
Wow,
and
that's
then
crazy,
it's
man.
literally they pay you per views, but I mean the pay is not great at all. Like it's like 3
Right, but
cents I think per 1,000.
3 cents per 1,000. Jeez. All right. Well,
Yeah, so like
okay. My next question is this: like you really hit something that really kind of like made sense to me about this sort of like algorithm of it's like human psychology basically that's going on here. It's because they basically sorry about that. Basically, they have a new user like me. I log in, I sign up, I make a video, I post it. I'm excited about my video. I come back the next day. There's a few hundred people watch my video. Now I'm like, oh my god, I need to make another video. And then it's like I make another video, and then it's like that one's got views, and I'm like, look what's happening here. Then I make another video, and it doesn't get views, and I'm like, that must have been a bad video. I'll try.
Yep.
And keep
Oh, he cut out. I can't hear him anymore.
going, and then for that cycle, I wish to be a part.
Yeah, he has a little bit of a bad connection.
Okay. Yeah, but basically, I can hear you now. Yeah, what you're saying is like it's spot on. That's most of the apps too, but TikTok does it the best. To where it's just like it's literally that's why there's so many people in the industry that are like depressed and mental problems because it's really like it's that dopamine of I see the numbers. Like every time I log into TikTok, I see now like I'm talking about me personally, I see that 99, right? So it's like 99 plus. That means that it's that's my notification. I have over 100 notifications. But think if I don't see that number anymore, then I'm gonna feel like I'm falling off, or like it's like so then I start like getting into a rut. But it's just like I've done it before, so I can do it again. Yeah. And it's like in our heads or in everybody's heads, they're just like, like no, like like you were saying, it's a bad video, so it's like let me do it again. And then like when people really like fall off and they can't get that bad video again, they get up, yo. Like I've seen people like that were at their utmost high, just like they don't know how to act around people.
And it goes so fast. It goes so fast too, because like there's always another video. It's like when you're on TikTok, they rope you in because you watch a video, then it ends, and it's a never-ending cycle of videos. There's always a next video. So it's like even if you have a big video, it's such a big. It's like it's not a pond. It's a ocean of stuff. Anyway, I really love to talk to you again, man. We should do this again. 100%. I'm rooting for you. I followed you on the IG, and I'm gonna be watching for you. And obviously, I'm a filmmaker. If there's any opportunities for us to team up and make some movies, you let me know, man. And I'll be watching and rooting for you. And I'm in Toronto, but he's in New York. I'm in Toronto, and the crazy guy is in Dusseldorf.
Yeah, WireFang's out there. WireFang doesn't speak much, but I appreciate him for getting me on this stuff.
Shout out WireFang.
Yeah.
But this was a good time, man. It's good to hear some real stories. And, you know, a lot of people who watch your videos don't get a chance to sort of hear the real you, sort of chopping it up sometimes. It's good to see that, you know, the brains behind it. And we're rooting for you, man. And never be thirsty, my friend.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, 100%. You guys.
You're awesome.
Never thirsty.